Hi, in this video we're going to look at the refactorings and how we can use them in Faro at different levels. So refactorings were introduced in Smalltalk in 1995 and they are extremely handy because they allow you to refactor pieces of code, change the relation between your classes and methods, etc. extremely quickly. So I have taken back the counter we made in the video of week 2 and we can now, it still has the 4 methods we implemented: count, decrement, increment, and then the test. You can check that they are still green, cool. So first level of refactoring you can have is within the class. So you can right click on the class, go to, so you'll have a rename, you will have some copy, jump to test class, remove, etc. And then you've got refactorings that will allow you to insert subclass, superclass, or change this class from a package to another. So we'll look into the rename. So let's click on it. We'll just rename it counter2. Okay. So you can see that our counter is now renamed counter2. And if we go to the counter test, we can see that every occurrence of counter has been replaced by a counter2. So we can run the test, check that they are still green. It is the case. Great. So now we'll look into another level of refactoring, that is methods. So if you right click on methods, for example increment, you can go to, so you'll still have a rename because it's extremely useful, so it has been moved to another level. But you can go to the refactoring tab and you can see that you have push up, so you can bring this method to its superclass or subclass. Then you have move to class side or move to another class, move to another package. You can add arguments, etc. So we're going to look into the rename for now. So if we press on the rename and we would like to rename our increment method to increment2, press rename, you can see that this will modify all 9 implementers, but we only have one, so this might mean that we are modifying things that we wouldn't like to. So let's press no. So just to remember you, the shortcut for implementers is Command M, so let's press that, and you can see that there are many implementers of increment, and some of them will rather not change, such as job, progress bar, morph, everything. So in order to contain our actions to the actual package, we'll set up a scope view. So if you can either go to right click, set up scope, or you can simply, since we only have one package, you can simply press on the button scope view. So we'll do that for now, so scope view. And now if we right click and try to rename it again, increment to increment2, rename, this time we have only modified this method, and you can see that this would be the changes that will apply. So it will add a method called increment2 in the class counter2, that's great. Then it will change the test that's using increments, so changing the increments to increments2, and then remove the actual increment method. So that's perfect, that's exactly what we want, so let's just press apply, and you can see that we now have a method increment2, and if we go to the test counter increment, you can see that it's called increment2, so that's great. So now we're going to look at another level of refactoring, which is protocols. So you can right click on them, you can rename them, you can remove empty protocols. So basically this happens when you create new methods, tag them into protocols, and then remove the method without changing the protocol. So this might happen, you can simply press on this button, or you can categorize all methods that are uncategorized. And the last level of refactoring that you can use is from within the source code. So let's go, for example, to test counter starting at 5. We'll just select that, highlight it, and you can right click and go to source code, and there you'll have all the possible refactorings, so rename, etc. And you can extract methods. So this is interesting because let's click on it. You can see we'll call it starting at 5. Rename. You can see that we now have a method there that's doing exactly what we have highlighted earlier on. And you can see that it's doing so, counter to starting at 5. And then in the test, you can see that it's calling self starting at 5. So it has really extracted what we highlighted into a method. So this might not be the best idea here because we're talking about a test class, but it's just to give you the idea that you can simply highlight a piece of code to extract it to a method. So I really encourage you to learn the refactorings and how you can use them, because you will really be faster in your writing. You will simply develop faster and maybe better, because this will help you not forget for some references you might have written to a method when you rename it, or it will save you time when you remove a method, then write it back again. You can simply refactor, push up, push down, move to class side. So please use refactorings, they will really help you.